Let's take a look at the process of pre-filling a form that is embedded on your website. Pre-filling form answers with Paperform is extremely easy, and most questions, excluding the appointment field, allow pre-filling by using a unique key. This key represents the specific question, and we refer to it as a prefill key. We can find a question's prefill key by entering that question's configuration settings. We click on the gear icon that appears on the right-hand side and scroll to the bottom of the settings where we will find the prefill key. Here in this example, we can see the prefill key is 𝗖cie heç𝗶𝗰𝘁. We also have the ability to create a custom prefill key. Prefilling within most forms is done through a query string or by emulating the query string's format. In a URL, the beginning of a query string is indicated by a question mark. Let us look at this process. I have collected my form's URL by clicking Share from the navigation menu, and I will then type a question mark to begin my query string. I will use my custom prefill key for my first name field, first name, and then type an equality symbol. Following this, I will input the value I want to prefill my question with, Alex. In this example, the query string would be first name equals Alex. This is what we refer to as a key value pair, the key being the prefill key for my question, and the value being Alex. To prefill more than one field within a form, we need to separate all subsequent key value pairs with an ampersand. So, to prefill multiple fields within my form, I would follow the query string indicator, the question mark, and input my first key value pair. Then, input an ampersand, followed by the next key value pair, and so on. But what if I want to prefill a field and use characters that may cause a break within my URL? To put it plainly, URLs don't like certain characters, and if we use them, we may cause a break. To include these characters, we can use something that we refer to as percent-encoding. This is where a code will represent a character preceded by the percentage symbol. For this example, we can see that I'm prefilling my email field. We see, in place of the @ symbol, I have used the code 40 preceded by the percentage symbol. Take a look at the description below for a list of these supported codes. Now, to prefill a form that is embedded on your website, we follow the same process we just implemented, but this time we add the query string to the URL of the page where our form is embedded. We will also need to add something to our embed code, which we are going to cover in the next method of prefilling, inheritance. When we embed a form on a website, the page that we're doing the embedding on is considered the parent, and the form that we are embedding is considered the child. Since the URL in the browser refers to the parent, prefilling works slightly differently. The child looks to itself for the query string, however, it doesn't find it. This can be easily solved. We can just inherit the query string from the parent. To accomplish this, we can modify the embed code to include prefill inherit. This signals to the embed that we want to prefill by inheritance and capture the query string of the parent's URL. If you want to take a look at how to embed your form onto your website, then make sure to click on the pop-up that appears in the top right of this video. When you prefill your form through using a query string, we consider that dynamic prefilling, as it's subject to change. Alternatively, you can prefill using static values by prefilling directly into the embed code, so that the form will prefill the same way each time it loads. The static method uses the same format as the query string. In fact, you can set up the query string as you would for dynamic prefilling and just copy that query string to paste within your embed code. Taking a look at our example URL, the query string is first name equals Alex and last name equals 𝗄𝗶𝘁𝗵. We can simply copy that query string and paste it directly into our embed code. Let's look at how we achieve this. In much the same way that we modified our embed code to include prefill inheritance, we simply include prefill equal to, and then house our query string within quotation marks. As we can see, all that we've done is take the query string from our URL and place it into our embed code. Now, every time that the form is loaded, the first name and last name field will be pre-filled. To take a look at the process of pre-filling natively onto your Paperform or pre-filling form to form, be sure to check out the overview video that will appear in the pop-up in the top right corner of this video. And for more information regarding pre-filling embedded forms, make sure to check out the pre-filling guide that will be linked in the description below.